Alright everyone, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video here along Wyoming Highway 70 as we cross Battle Pass and the Continental Divide. So this video right here really goes through some backcountry. Let me tell you folks, this is one of the most remote drives that you can take in this area of the country. So this video was filmed on a drive that I took from Cheyenne, Wyoming to Grand Junction, Colorado, as I passed through southeastern Wyoming and the northwestern part of Colorado as I made my way back to Grand Junction. So I knew this drive was going to be pretty rural going into it. I didn't do a lot of research beforehand because I kind of wanted to be surprised. And of course I mapped my route and just followed the direction that I was going to go because I knew I wasn't going to have very much cell service, so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get lost on my way to Grand Junction. But anyways, I drove across the Medicine Bow Mountains and then the Sierra Madre Mountains here that are featured in this video. Absolutely breathtaking scenery, and of course the remoteness of the road really added to the beauty as well. I believe I mentioned in the last video that some of the best scenery in Wyoming can actually be found when you get off the interstate highways and take these backcountry roads, because if you stay on the main interstates you don't really see too much. You see mountains off in the distance, but you don't really cross any major mountain ranges with the exception of the Laramie Range east of Laramie and west of Cheyenne on I-80. But as you can see here at the summit of Battle Pass along the Continental Divide, the scenery is pretty darn good up here if I don't say so myself. So this road, much like the previous video here in this season, is actually closed during the winter and is only normally open between late May, early June, weather depending, and then early November, late November, weather depending as well. It just really depends on when the first and last major snowfall of the season is, and then of course once they plow the road in the spring as well. But yeah, this is a very lightly traveled road. As you can see, we didn't pass through any towns whatsoever really of any note along this entire drive here. You have to go about 50 miles or so without any gas along this entire route. And there is no "Welcome to Colorful Colorado" sign along this road whatsoever when you enter Colorado. It literally just says "Leaving Wyoming" and "Entering Wyoming." And of course this road isn't signed with the number 70 within the borders of Colorado either, not to be confused with of course Interstate 70 farther to the south in Colorado. And typically states don't have two different highways signed with the same number within the state to avoid confusion, even though these two roads that would ideally be numbered 70 come nowhere close to touching each other or anything like that. It's just standard practice that most states use to not sign multiple numbers with the same number with two different roads, to avoid confusion of course. So this is going to be the last video from September 2021 that is featured in the 2022 season. Starting next week, we are going to be returning to the June trip that I took in 2021, and that video will feature Casper, Wyoming. And we have a few videos left from Wyoming as part of the 2022 season as we slowly make our way back towards the west coast of the United States. And most of the rest of the videos will actually be featured on mainly freeways and interstates, as the name of my channel implies. There's not going to be too many back roads that we're going to take to finish off the rest of the season, but there will be a few, which you guys will definitely see later in the season. So I hope you guys will be looking forward to that. Alright folks, it's time for plugs before we end off the video here. And the first thing I want to plug is of course my Patreon. If you join my Patreon, you can literally watch all my videos weeks, months, and sometimes even a full year in advance if you join the right tier. All the money that I make on there just goes right back to this YouTube channel. It just helps me travel more and make more of these types of videos because I'm sure you guys know traveling's pretty expensive these days. So if you guys want to support me further beyond YouTube, that is a great way to do it. I have links to my Patreon down in the description. And another thing I have recently set up is Super Thanks, which is literally located to the right of where you would normally like one of my videos. What that basically is just a way for you guys to tip me out for each video going forward if you feel that I've earned it, of course. And all the money on there goes right back into this channel as well to help produce more of these types of videos and of course for travel expenses and other things like that. Alright everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this video here along Wyoming Highway 70 over the Continental Divide and Battle Pass. I hope you all have an amazing day, and thank you so much for watching.